have an army of digital soldiers. What we are now, I call them, because this was an insurgency, folks. This was run like an insurgency. This was irregular warfare at its finest in politics. And that story will continue to be told here, but we have what we call citizen journalists. Okay? Because the journalists that we have in our media did a disservice to themselves, actually more than they did to this country. They did a disservice to themselves because they displayed an arrogance that is unprecedented. And so the American people decided to take over the idea of information. They took over the idea of information, and they did it through social media.
Welcome to another Just Informed Talk. I'm your host, Craig, and this is a show that I really wanted to do because there are a lot of things that we have to cover in it to understand where we're at right now. We're looking at MAGA, right? And it's breaking apart. Marjorie Taylor Greene stepping down, announcing her resignation, Thomas Massie being cast out as a, basically persona non grata in the Republican Party. We have Democrats trying to take advantage of every bit of weakness that we're showing, launching their attack with the Epstein hoax. I mean, they planted all these emails and now they're trying to launch them all on Trump at the same time. It just seems like everything's hitting ahead right now, right? And we're watching it all break down in front of our very eyes. So to you guys out there watching, it might not seem like that much, but to me, I'm seeing the pattern here, and I'm hearing from my sources exactly what they say it is. Now, sources are sources, like anonymous sources. Who cares? Oh, I know somebody in intelligence. Oh, I know somebody in the military. I know somebody in this news organization. It doesn't matter. But when you hear it laid out before you, it actually makes sense. And I'm going to try to explain to you what's being explained to me in no uncertain terms, and maybe not exactly, but it's being inferred, et cetera, and what I've understood over these years. So I'm going to try to do that today in this show. And we're going to start with an important story. We're going to actually look at the whole story behind Marjorie Taylor Greene. But before we get there, let me start with this. If you guys aren't subscribed, hit this button right here. It helps me out big time. And then click all so you get all notifications. That helps out as well. And yeah, why aren't you subscribed? What's wrong with you? That's your problem, not mine. But also, I have a Rumble channel too. And this is for in case stuff hits the fan, which it will. I was banned off of YouTube for 5 years. So there's no reason to think that this isn't going to happen again. So if you want to keep up with me and keep locked in on these shows, go subscribe to me over on Rumble at Just Informed Talk. The link will be in the description below the video. I'll put all that in there today. And I hope you like this video because we're trying to do more in-depth analysis, but we're also trying to do more daily news shows. I'm trying to balance it. Those are the two things I'm going to be focusing on going forward. Plus the podcast, DEF CON Bros, which I love. I'm very excited about. I'm going to keep doing it. And Nick, no. So if you don't know him, he's right here. That's Nick, the Benghazi whistleblower. We'll get him more in these videos as we go forward. But here's my profile over on X. If you guys haven't subscribed to me over on X, do that as well. At Just Informed #1. But let's get into this. So you'll recall Trump called for the arrest of the seditious Democrats who sent their coordinated message to the military members trying to encourage them to disobey lawful orders under the guise of them being unlawful. Now, many videos have probably broken down to this point why what Mark Kelly and Alyssa Slotkin and the rest of those seditious traitors have done was a seditious conspiracy to try to overthrow the government. I've broken that down in videos here that you've seen recently. But let's get into the next story, which is Marjorie Taylor Greene and her recent announcement. And, she said a lot of things, but we'll watch the last minute here of her announcement that she is going to be withdrawing from Congress. Listen to this.
Millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never, ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, this is what's happening with Marjorie Taylor Greene. You want the inside baseball? I'll give it to you. She's a whore. She had a horrible relationship with her husband, a bunch of infidelity, and I'm not even gonna, you can say what I don't care. Oh, what's she gonna do? Come yell at me, come sue me, whatever. Go look up the history of it all. Allegedly, I'll say though, allegedly she's a whore, and allegedly she's engaged in infidelity, and allegedly when she got to Congress, she became a completely compromised individual. Now, I'm not saying that what she's saying is not true. That's the thing that's weird. When you get into these weird gray areas, what happens is you have people like MTG who, a lot of what she's saying is true, right? It's a broken system. There's no way to fix it by one individual. It's almost impossible. She hits that wall. But I've seen it with people in my own district here. Lauren Boebert, for instance, is MTG light, and she's the same thing. Infidelity and scandals and all kinds of things. I remember this is you want inside baseball story. So Lauren Boebert is actually a representative in my district close to where I live, and let's just say I've had personal interactions with her that lead me to believe that she's like a lot of other people I've seen in this movement who are one way outwardly and they're another way inwardly, right? Like going to the bathroom with their friends to do cocaine while they're drunk out of their mind at the, but I wouldn't say that about anybody in particular. I don't know anybody I would say that about. But MTG strikes me in that same way, and maybe she's not. But here's the thing. People arrive in DC and they get compromised. This is something we know. It's not like if this surprises you or shocks you, it's like, have you been paying attention? Have you been watching what's happening here? This is like common. But with MTG, it's actually a very unique situation, and I'll get into it a little bit further as we go. She says there's no 4D chess. She says there's no there's no grand master plan. Everybody's compromised. Everybody's failing. well, maybe you're failing. Maybe you personally failed to do the thing you wanted to do, which was an altruistic, noble endeavor. But because of your own personal character flaws or shortcomings, you weren't able to accomplish it. So now you try to pull the whole ship down with you. And this is what I'm seeing with her in particular. We'll get into Thomas Massey a little bit later here, but there are other things, right?
We erased nearly 1 year of gains in the past few weeks in the market.
Thursday was the worst day for stocks since March 2020.
Hi, this is Craig, and I have an important message for all of you out there listening. The globalists and the deep state banking cartel have launched their next operation, the Great Gold Reset. Are you prepared?
That is deliberate sabotage of the world economy to cause a collapse that the banksters can loan us more money, bring in a new cashless society, social credit score. That is the end game plan.
Look, the fact of the matter is this. When this thing hits, retirement accounts, savings, anything held in dollars could vanish instantly overnight. That's why you need to protect yourself with gold.
And so I'll just be totally blunt with you. I'm a gold buyer, and I've been vindicated big time.
That's why Genesis Gold Group is offering their free report, Surviving the Great Gold Reset, Your Financial Protection Plan. Visit justinformedgold.com immediately to claim your free survival report. That's justinformedgold.com, your last line of defense against the coming dollar collapse and financial reset we all know is coming. And remember, we have to prepare today for what's coming tomorrow. She pointed to this Black Scout. What was it? The Black Scout analysis. He's survival. He's going to tell you all about it. Let's listen to a little bit of what he has to say here.
Tonight's intel briefing is going to piss some people off.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That welcome. Means you're awake. Because what we're watching right now isn't 40 chess. It isn't a grand strategy. And it sure as hell isn't the America First movement we signed up for.
You figured it out.
This is the collapse of an illusion.
Oh, yeah.
Some say maybe a mask slipping.
Oh, yeah.
A movement shedding its skin and revealing something else.
Oh.
So buckle up, because I'm going to walk you
buckle
through the
up.
facts.
He's
fantasy.
He's reading the AI script. Keep going.
Not the fan fiction, not that cult scripture being pumped out by the blue check influencers, the bought and paid force, but the actual timeline.
So he's reading a teleprompter. And look, I've read teleprompters too. I'm not like necessarily saying it's the end of the world, right? That we read teleprompters. Sometimes you can write a script and you want to read it. I mean, I do that all the time. Sometimes if I make a in-depth analysis video, I'll read a script. But like right now, I'm not reading a script. I don't know if you can tell. I'm not. I'm talking to you. So I can tell when they're reading scripts. I can tell when they're doing the thing. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, God bless her. I have nothing against her personally. She points to this, right? She says, this sums up almost every call and text message I've ever had this weekend. And it goes on. Ann Vandersteel says it's over. The MAGA psyop's over. It's America only, ride or die. Don't slide into my DMs whining about flipping on Trump. No, he flipped on us. Watch this video and tell me you don't agree. So, the Epstein, he's the dividing line, right? These people are retarded, okay? Be quite frank. And I mean that with all respect. You know, I don't have any like personal vendetta against these people. I don't sit around and go listen to Ann Vandersteel or MTG and go, oh man, how am I going to get them? How am I going to get those women? No, you know what I do? I hear what they say and I go, that's retarded. And if you don't understand the bigger picture, then you have no comprehension of what's happening here, right? Because all they do is sit there and complain. They don't understand the actual, like people keep saying like, oh, there's no 5D chess. There's no 4D chess. There's no nothing. And you're like, the whole world is a chessboard. Can we agree on that? Fourth dimensional chess, right, is meaning that you're adding a dimension or a layer or a overlay to a game that has been 2 or 3 dimensional for an extended period of time. You're adding another dimension of play to the game. You don't think that we're doing that, folks? You think that there is no 4D chess? Yeah, Trump's an idiot. We're all screwed. Military's dumb. They don't know what they're doing. Yeah. That's what you believe. Because to me, like, I'm on a personal level, like, let's just be honest. I think that is the most retarded thing you could think. If you believe that. But fine. Oh, it's all screwed, right? And then the people I love the most are the ones that are like, well, Israel's controlling everything. Okay. Israel's controlling everything. So the country of what, a few million people there in the Middle East is controlling the whole world. Oh, yes. Well, they're controlling it. They're controlling everything. Oh, China has nothing to do with it. Russia has nothing to do with it. USA has nothing to do with it. It's all the Jerusalem. Bibi's controlling it. You people, I mean, you understand how dumb you sound when you say, and I'm not even saying that because I'm not saying that, oh, well, you know, banks and the Rothschilds and, you know, the Khazarians, and you go back to Ukraine, which was Khazaria, and I understand the evolution of that, you know, historically, but you understand how dumb it sounds when you tell me that Khazarian Jews are running the whole world. Yes, they're in positions of political authority in some cases, corporate authority in some cases, and other positions of financial banking authority. But to think that small percentage is controlling everything is like, I've said it before. If they control everything, then they control nothing, right? Because you're telling me that they are the end all be all. Anyway, they're telling us there's no 5D chess, and I think that's the joke. The joke is there is 5D chess. MTG's exiting the scene, whatever. I don't know what the reason is behind it, but I've never trusted her. I've said it before on my show, even though I've been banned for the last 5 years off of YouTube, so you haven't heard my voice probably on this for a very long time, but I've been saying MTG, Lauren Boebert, these people are not people you should be trusting, to say the least, because of their ethical and moral background. Like MTG moralizing to me about Christian faith while she's out, you know, doing allegedly the whoring that she's done against her husband and breaking up her family and divorcing her husband. And I don't know, maybe her husband was a horrible person. Maybe she's a saint. But the fact that her family separated and broke apart, just like Lauren Boebert, just like a lot of these other people. And then the weird stuff with Thomas Massey, his wife, who, God rest her soul, passed away. I don't want to infer anything negative, but Trump even inferred it and said, there's something that we should be looking at there, maybe as far as character, at least on Massey's part, not his wife, on him, Thomas Massey. To me, you see it all and you think, okay. Now, MTG also said this. Only 20% of Americans are on X, right? And this is where the political industrial complex controls a hive mind with hyper-partisan politics. It's toxic, hateful, and divisive. Many accounts are paid and many are foreign, and they post and comment all day with targeted talking points in order to sway your opinion. However, it's all not real life. Real life exists without a phone or a tablet or computer. She's right about that, but real life is tangible. It involves relationships with people, productive works, and all the fun and amazing adventures the beautiful world has to offer. Real life. Look, this is what she's saying. She's saying this. I don't want to be in politics anymore. I've given up my battle. I'm throwing up my white flag. I've got my pension. I'm resigning 2 days after my pension from Congress kicks in, my lifetime pension kicks in from Congress. I'm resigning. And yeah. It's just about happiness. I just want to be happy. Oh yeah. I'd be happy too if I had pension for life from Congress. I may run for Congress. Actually, you know what? But I'm going to tell you guys straight up. If I ever do run for Congress, here's my plan. I'm going to follow the MTG plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, and I'm going to run for about 5 years until my pension kicks in. Then I'm going to resign, and you'll never see me again. I'll have a lifetime pension and all the benefits that come with it, and you're screwed. So enjoy that while I'm gone. Excuse my middle finger, but you get the point. That's her. That's FTG's plan. I'm going to do it until it's, I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm going to get the benefits, and I'm going to be a adulterous whore, allegedly. But it's okay. It's okay. No worries. She also went on, just to cap it all off. So Mike Cernovich said, you need to serve out your full term. That's all he said. That's literally all he said. And this is the whole thing. This is what I love about her. This shows you who MTG is, really. He said, you need to serve out your full term, right? To which she responded, I haven't suffered enough for you while you post all day behind a screen? Do I have to stay until I'm assassinated like our friend Charlie Kirk? Will that be good enough for you then? Shit posting on the internet all day isn't fighting. Get off your ass and run for Congress. I fought harder than anyone in the real arena, not social media. Put down your little pebbles and put your money where your mouth is, she says. Girl boss. Do you want me back in the kitchen? She says. No, I'm not making that up. She actually says that. She actually says that she's being told to go back to the kitchen. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. The honesty, at least. Now, here's where it gets it. Like, I understand she's probably feeling a huge amount of pressure after the Charlie Kirk assassination, and maybe that is playing a factor in it all. She's got death threats. We all have death threats. I've had death threats. Anybody who does anything similar to what we're doing here, Mike Cernovich has had death threats. Marjorie Taylor Greene's had death threats. I've had death threats. We've all had death threats. I've had Antifa following me around. I've had them try to kill me or whatever. I don't know if it kill me, but find me to hurt me, I'm sure. But I don't care. I respectfully take care of myself and I defend myself very vociferously. So they both verbally and otherwise. So I'm sure they couldn't get to me. But it's up to God. God's will. I don't know what tomorrow brings. I just put my faith in God. But the funniest thing, though, is to hear MTG here saying, you're just little pebbles. You're small balls behind the keyboard. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're saying. It's like, lady, do you not understand that you're the most, of all of us, you're the most protected, right? Beside being like a cabinet member or a actual member of the Trump administration or the president or the vice president, you're like pretty much as a congressperson the most protected. And that we, like Mike Cernovich, myself, and many other people on the internet who have political opinions, who have large followings, who have voices, we are the most vulnerable. Charlie Kirk is the primary example. Charlie Kirk was not a politician. He was a literally just a political figure who was a Christian evangelist who had his neck blown. I mean, if anything, myself and Mike Cernovich have more in common with Charlie Kirk as far as being vulnerable than you will ever have, because you have protections via Congress, via the government, via the federal government that we will never have. I'll never have the same federal protection. You can call the Capitol Police to protect you and give you an escort while you walk through the Capitol. I can't do that. They're not going to protect me. They're not going to protect Mike Cernovich. They're not going to protect Charlie Kirk. So it just all falls short. Honestly, it really does. It all falls short and hollow. So Mike Cernovich then responds, interestingly enough, and says this: I'm not into seeing who can hold the biggest pity party supporting my country in 2015 and backing Trump completely upended my world. Benny saw this in real time. I always supported you and defended you against the lies. You ran for re-election and owe your voters a full term. Responding to that, to which she says this: so your support is telling me to stay in there until I'm murdered and keep fighting the broken system that can't be fixed. That's not support, that's cruel. Instead of listening to me, all of you that's broken far beyond repair, more than you know, you throw rocks. Again, run for Congress yourself, stop keyboarding. Marjorie, paging Marjorie Taylor Greene, we're telling you to do what you said you were going to do. We're literally just saying, do the thing you told us you were going to do. And then, well, you want me to do that? Well, I've been doing it, but now I don't want to do it. So I'm done. So F you, do it. Do it for me. Like, what? Am I the only one? Am I the only one? And I mean this gracefully, with love and whatever. I don't care. Right? Because she then points to the comedian Tim Dillon, to get her little, like, oh, she puts a little eye emoji here, looking at Tim Dillon, and well, let's hear a little bit of what Tim Dillon has to say about it, because when I really want to get my political compass realigned, I look to a 40-year-old drug addict comedian who has absolutely no idea and I like Tim Dillon to the degree that he's funny, I guess, but it's like a sitting U.S. Congresswoman telling me and I'm not saying me, but telling a person in my position similar to Mike Cernovich, do your job that you promised you're going to do. Let's point to a 40-year-old drug-addled comedian to tell us how we should feel about things. Tim Dillon, take it away.
People in the United States and other countries, especially very wealthy people, don't seem to care much about the United States. They have loyalty to this economic system that allows them to maximize profits all over the world.
We got them, boys.
And they buy politicians in order to let them do that. This isn't just, this isn't like Jewish people.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing. I understand there's Jewish influence. Look, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, the Jews aren't doing anything. No, I'm actually like, Bibi Netanyahu's not a good person. The Jewish government is bad. They're doing bad things. But it's not all them, and it's not even like the majority. Like, we have China and Russia and major nations across the country, all with competing factions. We have the oligarchies of Europe. We have the literal bloodlines of royalty from Spain and Britain and France and Denmark, all working, not to mention the ancient royal bloodlines of the Middle East and, going back down that timeline, and in northern Egypt or northern Africa with Egypt. So I'm just saying this, like, these people who are like, it's all the Jews, they're the retards. Okay. And I'm not saying that because they're wrong about Jewish influence. I'm saying that because they assign so much value to it that it becomes a convenient way to deflect off of all of the things that we've uncovered. The Merovingian bloodlines, you want to talk about the Rothschilds, but then you don't want to talk about the number of bloodlines that came through Rome and the Holy Catholic Church that disseminated out through Europe that then, invariably created the bloodlines that are followed for this Illuminati, right? But MTG said Tim Dillon said it, so I mean, who am I to say anything? I'm just an idiot. I'm just some retarded guy with a red hat saying save America, and Abraham Lincoln was right when he said we should free the slaves and be a good people. Oh man, I'm one of those racist people. It's like, what? What? Anyway, to Thomas Massey, here's the funny thing. So let's listen to Thomas Massey. He said this about Kash Patel.
Also, I'm going to say this here on camera because it's important. One of Kash Patel's staff threatened my staff with a criminal investigation.
Oh no!
He didn't straighten up and play ball.
I was going to ask you about that, but since you brought it up, and I didn't,
I'm bringing it up.
Okay, you brought it up.
And so, like a criminal investigation having nothing to do. He said it was going to be a fraud. We're going to investigate one of your staff for fraud. Right. And he told another one of my staff this. If you guys don't straighten up, if you want to play hardball, if this is how you want to play it or something like that, this member of your staff is going to get criminally investigated for fraud.
Okay. So here's my question. Quick question. What the hell is your staffer doing that he is liable to be investigated for fraud? Does anybody want to ask that question? Oh, no. It's obviously he's being targeted, right? Because it's not like Kash Patel. Here's the thing. Kash Patel, people want to say he's doing nothing. Here's my opinion on Kash Patel. I've said it before. I'll say it again. When you get read in on this stuff, do you not think that there are matters of national security that then you can't expose? For instance, just to name one, the Swiss connections between Epstein and the Rothschild banking cartel. Now, I'm not saying that this is all, good, we should all ignore it. But, for instance, this report from the National File documents detail a complex web of relationships stretching from Epstein's New York mansion, where he hosted Ariana de Rothschild, CEO of Edmund de Rothschild Group, to Swiss banking elites and former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Now, look, yes, there is a Israeli connection there. Yes, you're right. All the people say it's all the Israeli Jews. It's like, yes, you're right, but let's be specific about who we're talking about, A. And B, let's be clear. You think that this is where I get frustrated. Oh, the FBI hasn't come out. Oh, yep. There's an international cabal of elite globalist banking cartel, members who are trying to subvert the United States and overthrow it and take it over, clandestinely. So we're going to announce this publicly, and once we do, then it will definitely stop and nothing will ever happen and there will be no consequences, because it's not like they've infiltrated every aspect of society from A to Z and couldn't completely demolish our, way of living overnight. Do you understand how warfare works? Okay, give you an example. Just a stupid example, as broad as I can. We have intelligence, sir. This is like an ensign coming to a general who is in the, war room. Sir, we have intelligence. The enemy is planning an attack. They have mobilized their troops to X, Y, and Z locations, and they're planning to launch an ambush attack, it looks like, within the next, 12 to 24 hours. The general. Very interesting. Very interesting, Ensign. Now, hold on one second. Hello? CNN. Yes, I'd like to announce this horrific attack that's about to happen. Yeah, let me tell you all about it, CNN. No, do you think that's how it happens? Or do you think they go, okay, well, we're going to counter that. We're going to launch a counterattack, and we're going to do it clandestinely and privately and secretly. Am I stupid? If I'm stupid, comment, I'm a fucking retard. Because if I am, I accept that. But am I the only one who sees this shit? Am I the only one who fucking understands it? And excuse my language, I don't curse. I try my best. But am I the only one who gets this? But Thomas Massey, he's got it out for Kash Patel. All right, so a couple clips from Kash Patel. This was just recently. Listen to this and tell me if this sounds like a guy who, hates America and is plotting against us.
Here today.
So I understand you've also been targeting the 764 network. This is, for those that might not be aware, violent, nihilistic international online group that grooms and, exploits minors and children, so forth. What have you been doing to try to stop this group?
So this should be headline news every day, because the protection of our children is one of our biggest priorities here. And the 764 network started in Texas. That's why it's called the 764 network. It was the area code of where it originated. And the original founder of that network is doing 80 years in federal prison, and rightly so. But we made a huge push this year to protect our children against these online predators. And this is the worst of the worst. These individuals are actors throughout America and throughout the world who don't really have a connection to each other in terms of group focus and group mission set. But individually, they subscribe to this ideology that they can prey on our children online. And they go, and just to look at the cases we've showed you in North Carolina, DC, Jersey, and one other state recently.
Oh, yeah.
They were preying on kids from 8 to 15 years old.
Sick.
Convincing them, these children, to send them nude and sexually explicit pictures, which amount to what we call child sexual pornography, which is a federal offense. What's worse is they were sharing and exchanging information about animal crushing, about torturing animals. What's worse than that is these individuals, these perpetrators, these criminals, were convincing children to mutilate themselves. And in some cases, unfortunately, more than one, these children ended up committing suicide.
So, yeah, Kash Patel's the evil guy for fighting against all that. Oh my gosh, yeah. We should all hate the FBI when that's what their mission is now, is to take out satanic cults that prey on children. That's how I think about it, at least. But in all fairness, Congress Massey, he's been the one behind the release of the Epstein files. He's been pushing it, and that's his button issue. He's going to make his name on that. And most people are going to fall headlines, and I don't know if this is like what they call kayfabe, which is like where a wrestler turns heel and it's all staged and it's all kabuki, it's all political theater. I don't know if Thomas Massey is a part of the kayfabe or if he is what it seems like he is, which is a, sort of Mitch McConnell acolyte from the the Kentucky Mafia, Dixie Mafia syndicate, trying to, here's my opinion of it. It's either one of two things. Okay. It's one of two things. A, it's kayfabe and he's a part of it, the 4D chess, which it's not happening. So don't even look into it. Or the Republicans, the neocons, when they realized Trump won, they had to pivot, and they pivoted toward hardcore neoconservatism. And they went to people like Ted Cruz and Mitt Romney and all these other people who failed. And when that failed, they realized the error of their ways, and they figured they had to infiltrate the libertarian establishment and get a foothold there. And that's where people like Thomas Massey come into play. Thomas Massey is the neocon libertarian iteration of, the deep state continuation. That would be my two guesses on what it is. You tell me, what do you think it is? I want to hear it in the comments, please. But Trump said this about it. So he said, did Thomas Massey, sometimes referred to as Rand Paul Jr. because of the fact that he always votes against the Republican Party, get married already? Boy, that was quick. No wonder the polls have him at less than 8% chance of winning the election anyway. Have a great life, Thomas. And his wife will soon find out that she's stuck with a loser. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me, right? That's where I'm going to leave it. I was just a stream of thoughts coming out now, but we'll leave you guys with some scripture real quick. And this is the scripture I want to go with. Keep asking and it will be given to you. Keep searching and you will find. Keep knocking and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who searches finds. To the one who knocks, the door will be open. What man among you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him? Therefore, whatever you want others to do for you, do also the same for them. This is the law of the prophets, the law and the prophets. And that's my point to all of you out there. That's Matthew, by the way, chapter 7, verse 7 through 12. And keep asking, keep searching, keep knocking. Don't stop putting your faith in Jesus Christ. And if you haven't put your faith in Jesus Christ, I make this invitation at the end of every episode. Call upon his name. Ask for him to come into your life and give you eternal salvation. Look, I was lost. I had my life basically going into the dumpster of the world. And God saved me. Jesus saved me. He gave me new life. And he can do it for you too. So whether you've been saved or you're looking to be saved, keep asking, keep searching, keep knocking, and trust that a Father in heaven who loves you is there waiting for you and ready with open arms, and accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. That's where I'm going to leave it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I hope you like this episode. This is going to be kind of the new content format from here on out. But yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Until then, Godspeed and God bless each and every one of you, Patriots.